Okay. It's a great way you articulated that because, again, if you look at back when Bitcoin was created, at the time, it solved a bunch of problems that the market had. And so, again, the market tested it. It had a use case, which was Silk Road. And again, it brought a lot of value to people. But then we needed the next stage. And then Ethereum came in with all of these wish lists, all the Antonopoulos wish lists with the smart contract, et cetera. But of course, it couldn't foresee that it itself might, have its own growth issues and things from 7 years from now. And it looks like Charles is trying to look, that 10, 20, 30 years ahead. Maybe now, since we at least have a base of what we maybe know what this is, we can maybe see a little bit further ahead in time. Now, probably you can't see 100 years out, but I'm sure Charles is thinking 20, 30, 40 years out, whereas that would probably be impossible with Bitcoin creation because you didn't even know if it was going to go anywhere. So that's a really good explanation. And I think, look, even Vitalik has said in interviews that he's the guy that builds it, and he's not the white paper guy. He's not a big fan of white papers because he thinks the use test is the real test as opposed to the all of the theory. And again, I'm an MIT grad, but I'm also an engineer. So I went to work at Ford Motor Company. We built cars that went on the road. I didn't sit in the lab and create theories. So I see where both have their places. And it looks like Charles is doing the longer game. And that could create an amazing piece of infrastructure. I guess we'll just have to see how that plays out. But again, Ethereum could come back. We've got this new 2.0 moving from proof of work to proof of stake. How do you see that battle playing out in the future? And how do you explain that to your grandma when she's trying to find out what's up with proof of work, proof of stake? And of course, you got the information war coming in that it's going to ruin the environment and Elon doing this. What's your 2-minute answer on that? And what will the future of that be?
Yeah. So here's one of the beautiful things about crypto that I think is one of the most misunderstood, misinterpreted things. It doesn't really matter whether, like, to the average person, you shouldn't have to explain what proof of work is or proof of stake. The only reason why we're talking about it is because of the environmental argument for proof of work. So I do believe, which proof of work is Bitcoin mining or crypto mining. Proof of stake is where the consensus of the network is done by nodes on the network that hold a certain amount of the crypto. So they got all the motivation to send the transactions. A lot of people don't care about that. Proof of work is crypto mining. Proof of stake is where people hold crypto to verify the transactions, okay? The only reason we're talking about it is because of the environmental concerns. But here's the thing. How many people use the internet? Everyone basically, right? 95% of the world, I think, is the last number that I saw. How many people understand what an HTTP protocol is? I think the P stands for protocol, right? We all go in and we all type it into the browser, especially when we had to start adding the S to it, right? For the secure, website browsing. How many people can, number one, say what that is? And number two, explain how it works? It doesn't matter. Some people, I'm sure there's some people in the chat right now that are saying it's, high throughput transfer or what. I don't even know what it is. I like the fact that I don't actually know. I want to keep not knowing what it stands for. Okay. But some people in the chat are saying, well, I know what that is. Like, I can explain what that is. You're the vast minority. You're the vast minority. 99% of people, maybe 95 or 90% of people that are browsing the internet right now couldn't tell you what that is. And they use it every day. It doesn't matter how the network comes to consensus. What matters is that it comes to consensus. Now, when it comes to the Bitcoin mining, like, it's all in the news about the environmental stuff. We could do an entire episode where I basically debunk all of these arguments about Bitcoin mining. Gold mining uses way more energy than Bitcoin mining does. Banking infrastructure uses way more energy than Bitcoin does. Oh yeah. And the Bitcoin mining, it's mostly done now on renewable energy sources. So, and it continuing, Elon Musk and Tesla, they're given the ability to develop greener ways of doing things. For Bitcoin, they say, you're not allowed to develop greener ways. You're not green enough right now, so you're done. It's so silly. So I think just to get back to the crux of the question is, how do I explain it to my grandma? I don't have to. When it is working, the best way that it should be working, and it has adoption, which, by the way, the blockchain adoption curve is steeper than the internet adoption curve. This is the future. It's coming faster and quicker than anything we've ever seen in history. outside of what's funny is, the most adopted technology in history was a VCR. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Also, it went out pretty quick. It's coming. It's in the future. It's going to work when everybody's using it and they're not sitting there thinking about like, oh, wow, I'm using blockchain. All they know is, wow, I'm using a censorship resistant social media platform. That's where the real win is. And that's where we're heading in crypto.
DeFi, which stands for decentralized finance. This is a $9 trillion per year marketplace. I want to talk about our brand new DeFi Academy. Our first program is called the DeFi Accelerator, and we have been absolutely inundated with applications from around the world. I'm going to be talking about how you can profit from what I'm calling the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. Decentralized finance is already revolutionizing the world of finance. You just don't know it yet. I'm going to talk about the difference between DeFi and cryptocurrencies. There's a big difference. I want to go into how to trade the markets. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes emotional discipline. It takes intelligence. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm looking for a small group of people who want to actively participate in this upcoming DeFi revolution. I'm looking for serious individuals only with real net worth who want to build this exciting financial infrastructure. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, investors, colleagues who want to join forces and create real value and generational wealth. If you're one of those people, go to londonreal.tv/DeFi and submit your application. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. You have a chance now to join me on this incredible adventure for the next 10 years. It will change your life, the lives of your children and grandchildren, maybe the life of billions of people on this planet. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make?